What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Redline Racing Garage. So today we're back at the shop and working on the Street EG build. Alright, so today we're gonna start working on the Type S oil pump. So we have to go and remove a bunch of crap off of this motor. Obviously we got to start by removing the valve cover, the crank pulley, the side cover here, and obviously the oil pan. So we're gonna go and start removing all of that so we can get to the oil pump. Then we can go ahead, start removing it, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so just remove the valve cover as you saw in the time lapse. And the first thing I've noticed is I think this motor is off timing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not a professional, but from research and looking a little bit online, this dot right there is supposed to be in between these two gold links. Same thing on this side. This dot is supposed to be between two of these links. So I think this thing is off timing a little bit, but like I said, let me know in the comments. All right guys, so we just flipped the motor. This is basically as far as I can flip it because of the turbo manifold. So I can't really go any further because it's touching. I think this should be okay. Just to go ahead and remove the pan and then do the oil pump, I think we should be okay just the way it is. And like I was telling you guys previously about the timing chain. So let me show you guys. Let me just get my light. So I don't know if you guys can see, but let me try. So there is a line right there that it's supposed to actually line up with this golden link here. So by the looks of it, it jumped one link. I don't know if we can call it one tooth. I think there's two teeth on one link, but yeah, we can say it jumped one tooth. So it should be here, but instead it's there. And then the same thing on this side. Let me bring the light over again. So on this side, you have this dot on the cam gear. Should be right in the middle of those two golden links. Same thing on this side. So it's a really good thing actually that we did take this thing apart. And another thing is I'm super glad, don't mind the mess, but I'm super glad that I got brand new tensioner, brand new K24 chain, and I'm also glad that I got this drag cartel bottom guide, which helps it from skipping. And I think that's everything we got for the timing chain stuff. The only thing that I didn't get is this guide here and this guide here, but by the looks of it, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. So we're gonna be reusing it. Another thing is, this is a K24 guide right here, and I did get something for that as well. Check this out. So this is from a Z3, so a K20 Z3 out of 06 to 11 Civic Si. And this guide here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll try my best here. So this guide is probably about an inch to an inch and a half longer. So it covers more surface of the top of the timing chain, which prevents it from skipping. So as of right now, we can definitely say that this chain has skipped one tooth, and lucky enough, it's still in one piece. And I didn't even notice like power loss, or I had no check engine light whatsoever saying that getting a code for a VTC or anything like that. So luckily we're tearing into this thing right now, and we're gonna put all the timing chain stuff on. Brand new chain, brand new top guide, bottom guide, tensioner. I'm really glad that we caught this now, and we can actually put everything brand new once the motor is out, and then we should be good to go. Start by removing this huge oil pump, but I did go and put the timing on top dead center, and I did lock the cams here. So one over here, where is it, and one over there. So now the cams are locked. So as soon as I remove the oil pump, then I can go on the side of the motor here and remove the timing chain tensioner, get the tension off, and then we can remove the chain and do everything we need to do. So we're making a lot of progress. Got the oil pump off, sitting right here. So this is garbage. We're not going to be reusing that, obviously. The tensioner, timing chain tensioner, we have a new one. We won't be using that. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this is the top guide, which we are replacing with a Z3 one, a much bigger one. So we don't need that. The girdle here, we don't need. A little piece of girdle here as well. And we also have this gear here that we're going to be replacing. We have a brand new one. When you're replacing the timing chain or even the oil pump, it's always good to replace this one. So we have that as well. So we're not reusing any of these, but we are going to be reusing the timing chain cover. So right now what I have to do is just clean up all the excess Honda bond off of it. Over here. Everything around here, just clean it all up. I've already started cleaning a little bit of this one before I actually removed the whole pump, just so I don't have any debris falling inside. And yeah, so right now we're just gonna go ahead, clean everything up and start getting ready to put the new stuff in. So when doing a Type S oil pump on a K24, there is a little, you can call it a dowel that's here, which you need to remove and then block off that port with a 10mm bolt, because you're gonna have no oil pressure. So every time you're doing a Type S oil pump on a K24, you need to block that off. All right, got the oil pump on. We put the girdle, the oil pump, put the chain on, put the oil pump tensioner on as well. We also put the new gear on there. Actually, before we actually put everything together, we put the gear on first. So right now we're basically ready to go to install the oil pan, put that in there, and then we can start working. Well, then we're going to flip it over, and then we can start working on the timing chain stuff, put that all in, and then we should be all done. Alright, so we basically have the timing all set and ready to go. I didn't really film anything on this part because I wanted to focus. I wanted to make sure that I got timing set correctly because it's my first time doing it. So I wanted to just take all the extra precautions that I could, and I did feel like filming it would kind of be a little bit distracting, so I didn't, but I still plan to show you guys. So we got the dot right here matching right in between these two gold links. And then we also have the dot right there, right in between these two links. So that's the top. Also put the Z3 guide for the top. It's already torqued down, so that's done. And then for here, I basically just zip tied this to kind of act like a tensioner, just so I can set the timing on the bottom as well. So I should have showed you guys this, but if you remove the drag cartel guide, it actually shows you on the crank gear where the little dot is, and then there is a golden link, just like here. There's two here, but on the bottom there's only one, which it goes right in between that dot, same like the top, except there's only one gold link. So that's all good to go. I did put the drag cartel guide over here. It's all tight, ready to go. I also did put the trigger for the crank, put that in, put the dowel in there as well. So right now the only thing left to do is put the new tensioner on here. Obviously take off the zip tie and then let the tensioner do its thing. But we're basically all set on timing. Very, very important. I did mention this before, but I just want to show you guys once again. If you're planning on doing this, always have the cams locked. Top dead center first, lock the cams in, and then you can do whatever you need to do. This way the cams are not going to be jumping around. To actually time this a little bit better, I did use a 14 just to kind of move the cam into where I wanted it to be, and then also I did use a 17 for the intake side cam gear. Also just played with it to get the timing set right there, top dead center, the dots matching the links, the bottom. So timing is set as of right now. Like I said, we're going to be doing the tensioner right now. Take this off and then put this thing under tension, and then we should be good to go on installing the timing chain cover. Put some Honda Bond on there and install the timing chain cover, and I think that should be it for today. All right, so the tensioner is in, it's bolted down. The only thing left to do is cut this and release the tensioner pin right here. But before we do that, I just want to double, triple check everything. We got the guide up here. We got right there, top dead center, these two lines. Okay, that's good. Everything here is good. We have the keyway in there, the trigger. Okay, we got the guide in there, drag cartel guide, all tight. Okay, cams are still locked, so we're good. All right, let's pull this thing. All right, I guess that's it, guys. This pin I'm gonna keep because I was looking for one. When I was removing this, I wanted to put the pin in and then remove it, but I had to kind of do it a little bit differently without the pin. So now we got a pin. All right, so I think that's about it. I do think just to put a little bit of extra tension, you're supposed to kind of push this together, but let me do my research first before I actually go and do that. I did see a couple guys actually do like one click and then a second click, and the click, by the click I mean the tensioner, it clicks and it releases the piston just a little bit further, just like one click, two clicks. You see there is about, let's see, right there, you can see it. So it's sitting on the second line. So let me do some research first before we actually close this up, how much times I need to click this. All right, so I just talked to Rui. He did say to put the crank pulley back on and just turn the motor over slowly at least 2-3 times, and then this thing should click and basically fall into place. So right now we're gonna remove these locking pins out. That's one, that's two. All right, so we got these out. Now we're gonna go and spin the motor and get this thing to fall into place. All right, so I needed 2 hands to turn the motor over. Turned it over, everything is great. So the tensioner clicked about 2 times, so we're good to go on that. It is all tight and good to go. The last thing we can do, right now we gotta remove the crank pulley back, and then we're gonna start putting the timing chain cover back on, and then we're done. All right, guys, so that'll pretty much do it for today's video. Got this all done, knocked out. The last thing that I wanna do is do the valve lash adjustment on this thing, but little steps, and we're learning as we go, which is really good. But that'll pretty much do it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.